Here we are in chapter 6, and we'll be talking about gold and money. Money and gold. The money changes. You can read about the money changes in Mark chapter 11 verse 15. Jesus didn't like them at all. Neither do I. You can read about gold also in Haggai chapter 2 verse 8. No mistake what's said there. It's God's. End of story. It should be backing the economies. It's what should be motivating us. If you believe you got a creator and he created you for something, then, and you're a volumist and don't get paid by time, then gold is the go. And it's been around for a long time. And it stimulates the mind and gets us into gear. So let's talk about the great reset they keep talking about, where you'll own nothing and you'll be happy with nothing. So it looks very much like it could be the end of the fiat money systems. Fiat money systems, they just keep printing and printing and printing, causing inflation. Inflation is a tax. They just keep biting into the worth of your money, into the worth of your labour. They're very cunning about gold as well. They suppress the price of gold with all sorts of paper tricks. And the reserve banks seem to like to keep it suppressed, the price of gold. It allows reserve banks to buy it for less money. They can buy more with their fiat bucks, I guess. But the reserve banks of the world are hoarding gold at the moment. So I guess we will see where this goes. But there is quite a few verses to do with gold and silver in the old writings. And we have other organizations, global organizations, starting to form. Alliances, if you like BRICS, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And you've got these groups now forming that are obviously tired of paying extortion to the harlot city, to New York. Now New York itself seems to be a week of jubilees old. I believe that to be a coincidence with the book of Enoch's apocalypse of weeks, the 7th week in the book of Enoch. Remember, the book of Enoch by R.H. Charles was actually translated by Oxford getting R.H. Charles in to do it. I think he finished it about 1911, and the Federal Reserves really got into gear in 1913. So the messages in the book of Enoch tells them they're not on the winning side. And the greedy shepherds seem to work for their own gain, and they think it will never end. And you can read that in Isaiah chapter 56 verse 11. Verse 11. So what about gold? If the money systems are going to collapse, we have all these gold bugs saying we should get gold and put away and silver and put away. Maybe they're correct, but Roosevelt did confiscate the gold in 1933, made it illegal to hold gold. I have heard some say right through to 1974. So, I mean, he revalued the gold and paid welfare with it, really. He built the interstate highways system, and I think the Hoover Dam came in on it as well, with the Works Program America in the New Deal, after he funded that from the confiscation of gold. So every now and then, when the fiat money systems run their race and there's not enough to go round, they tend to revalue gold and bring it back into the picture. And in Australia, they put an amendment in the constitutional amendments in the 50s that if gold is a danger to the currency, it can be confiscated. It can be ordered in to the agents of the Reserve Bank. And if you don't, and you're transacting between yourselves with it, then there's hefty penalties for this. So these are things to be aware of. I believe the economic global power base will shift from Wall Street, New York, to Shanghai, and I think already there's corporations moving. The birds fly out of her. You can read that in Revelation 18, chapter 18. And I think they're already making their move. We've talked about that in previous chapters. If you read Revelation chapter 13, verse 2, you'll see where the dragon and the bear and the leopard and another cat with the voice of the lion, they all get together. And that is the last beast. That comes after the war that is all formed. That is the strength point after the war. So there'll be a war over this reset, mainly because those that are running on the fiat money are going to be rather annoyed that it's worthless, and they will go to war before another agreement like Bretton Woods is put into place. So I believe there'll be a third United Nations type operation put into play. You have the League of Nations, the United Nations, and the hat trick will be whatever comes out of this conflict that's coming. According to Baruch, it's a big one. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, because they took Enoch very seriously, and these other books like the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Baruch, and it's in the Bible. They take these writings very serious. They went to a lot of trouble to translate them. Oxford did. Remember the swamp, Oxford, Yale and Harvard, remember them. And taking those writings very serious, so will we. Enoch seen the heavenly tablets. Enoch was, as I said, the father of Methuselah. He's seen the whole show. And the whole show has a good ending for the good guys. Remember that. But at some stage you're going to say to yourself, where did that come from? How did we get to this? Well, it is there. And they take it serious. If you have a look for underground bases, remember chapter 6 verse 15 in Revelation, talking about them hiding in their dens, then I'm assuming Mother Shipton's verse that states they are doing the same, putting stuff away under mountains, has a little bit of, let's say, thought-provoking information in it. Let's read that verse. He bares his teeth and fights and kills, and secretes food in secret hills. And ugly in his fear he lies, to kill marauders, thieves and spies. Once again, they're talking about an ugly period, and they're secreting food under hills, in dens, I imagine. So have a look at the Kansas City subtropolis. Have a look at some of these underground bases. I think the Mormons have been doing it. It's just, they take it serious. So, get back to gold and back to the money system. A lot of people are going to be, what can I do to protect my wealth? What can I do to get through this? Well, they want a digital currency. The digital currency they can turn off if you're non-compliant. It will expire. It will stop hoarding. Remember, the money changes. The Wall Streeters, the parasites that have been basically trained by Edward Bernays and the public relations people to consume, consume, consume. If you don't consume, then you're not a good, compliant citizen, team member, comrade, call it what you like. This brings out a whole other, let's say, policies, other group of policies that are hiding there they don't like us to see. Like, let's take ageism. You know, if you're Harvard Business and you teach that anyone over 45 is not a good consumer because they're too frugal with their money, we don't want them in the workforce. Next thing you see, 50-year-olds can't get a job. If you see school teachers teaching kids, you give the job to the tech savvy. So if you're getting a fence built, somebody arrives with a tape measure, you don't give him the job, you give the one with the tablet and measures it by GPS or something. You give him the job or her the job to build the fence. This is ageism. So you're sacking people because of their age, because they might be less woke. This is also mentioned in the old books as the generations competing with mischief. So there's quite a bit there that's going to be in full view soon, and you won't be able to deny it or hide from it, and you'll have to bear to think of it. At the moment, it's empathize with everybody so you don't hurt their feelings. Not a good way to be. So, gold and money are the key to this. They're collecting gold, so a new system is coming. The fiat monies will collapse. The retirement funds will be wiped off. You see corporations pumping and dumping pump a business up and dump it on retirement funds now. Then it just goes. Big pharmaceutical companies, they're good at it. Citibank, Vatican Insurance, UBS, there's just company after company. Chase, they're all, just look for them anywhere in any companies that are going to be pumped and dumped. And they're cunning, they cross oceans to do it. And then these companies only deal with themselves, so they screw any small businesses or independents in the area. It is a corrupt system that they are using, and the fiat money system is going to change it, break it, and take it to China. That's going to annoy them greatly. So that is gold and money. Beware of what's coming.